Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Avalon and I am heading out in 10 weeks to move to Albania. 10 weeks, you guys. I started doing this 8 months ago. Like, I have so much time. I don't. And I'm really having to compartmentalize and start to put things like, I don't really need to get this done, or this doesn't need to happen, because I am truly down to the wire. Lots of things are happening. So I still plan on leaving Arizona the first week in October to do my farewell tour. And I'm going to start in Colorado and then just drive all over the country. I had a conversation with my goddaughter a week ago, and she really wants to finish her job that she's working on. That she's working to the end of October. And I said, well, I can go ahead. You know, I'm happy to go, and you can just come when you're ready. And she says, no, please wait for me. So happy to do that too. So I'm going to wait for her, which means now our new launch date I pushed back to November 4th. And that's fine. I just want to go. So whenever we can go, and it'd be fun to go together. So that's going to be happening. So pretty excited. She said that she did get the Pimsleur language app, and she's learning, which is great. And I'm just learn the basics. You know, I'm lost. Can you help me? You know, that kind of thing. I need water. So yeah, really excited about that. I am really trying very hard to figure out what I want to keep. Now that I'm selling off everything, it's just getting easier and easier. And I'm thinking, well, what do I really need? So I understand that shoes are premium. So I'm going to, like I think I told you last time, shoes and clothes. But other than that, you know, just some gadgets, I guess, to keep myself going. And I love the fact that we're learning the language. Everybody that I'm talking to now, they said that was their number one stumbling block when they got there, and they felt so nervous. And I'm just not nervous at all. I know that we can navigate and we can do our thing. So we've changed around a little bit. We're going to stay in Tirana for the first 10 days, and then go south to the beach areas because they won't be crowded. It's not tourist season, and I love a beach in the winter. I mean, who doesn't? So we're going to do Saranda for 2 weeks, and then we are going to go to, I believe, Vellore for the month of December. I put some notices out in the community saying, where would you go if you had the month of December? Because I don't know if there's festivities or what. I know in Holland, Zwarte Piet Day, St. Nicholas Day, was December 6th. And that's when we all got presents, and we had to put out our wooden shoes with carrots in them for the donkeys, and just fun stuff, horses and reindeer and whatever. And then the 25th was reserved for the religious holiday. And I thought that was kind of cool, because you weren't mixing Jesus and Santa together, which is very confusing and still is. So there's that. So I don't know whether they have, I know they're a Muslim country. I don't know what they have going on, if anything, during that month. And so I just was asking. They came back with Barrett, Vellore, and a couple others. And I think Vellore is where we're going to go. And I found a beautiful, beautiful Airbnbs. These places are stunning. And so I'm all set through the first of the year. We're going to stay there till the 2nd, because I don't want to be moving on January 1st. And then figure out the next town I'm going to go to. So I'm going to have my goddaughter involved in that as well, because I want to know where she, is she interested, and does she want me just to do this, or does she want to take part in figuring out what our next moves are. I had a really interesting experience. I just want to share this because it kind of threw me a little bit. I'm involved with these online expat groups, and there's a number of them through Facebook, and I just joined everyone that said Albania on it. And I put a question out, and I knew I was going to get pummeled, because there was a question earlier about the gay sensitivities and what was the gay life like and how accepted were people and that sort of thing. And this poor person got just nailed to the wall. I was shocked at how vulgar and mean people were in this supposedly expat community. So I said, what the hell? You know, they're already riled up. Let me take my shot. And I asked about the marijuana culture. Now, I didn't do it because I want to necessarily smoke, although I do gummies and partake here and have since I was a child. I was one of those people who was in Holland buying hash at 17. So I want to know the culture because I'm going to have a 17-year-old with me, and hopefully she's smarter than I was. But, you know, it's important, I think, to know the lay of the land, and I think it's important to know what to expect. I certainly should have done that when I went to Morocco and kind of learned a little late, but I learned quickly what to do and what not to do. And because they're trying to sell things to my father. My father, you know, right there in the hotel, he comes to me and he's like, what is he doing? He's trying to sell you hash, Dad, you know, just walk away. So, you know, being vulnerable, I don't know how much information she really has. She hasn't had a whole lot of life because she's 17. I want to make sure she's safe. And I want to make sure that we do things right. And I put that, pretty much paraphrased it into a question. You would have thought I asked if rape was okay. These people crawled out of the woodwork and just came at me hard. And one guy even said, one young girl said, oh, she called me a fat old lady, which I had to laugh about that because, well, she's accurate. Although less fat, but certainly I am older. I just thought that was hilarious. I thought, oh my God, how old are you, 10? And then, but one guy said, I'm going to take time out of my day to make you feel small. And I wrote back to him, I said, well, I hope you take time out of your day to make people feel good about themselves as well. You know, who are you, you horrible person? But some people really jumped to my defense and they said, we understand why you're asking, and here's what we find out, and here's what to expect. And some Albanian, but I don't know, honestly, if how many Albanians were on there. A couple people claim they were. I don't know. But it was harsh. It was harsh. And I left the group. And I wrote to admin and I said, if these are the kind of people that are in this group, I don't want any part of it. You know, this is the whole reason I'm leaving the United States. This kind of petty, just horrible people. And I don't want that. And I asked them, I said, I hope you all put where you're living because I'm going to avoid those expat communities for sure, especially you. I called him out. But I just, it just gave me such a icky feeling. I thought, oh my God, what am I doing? Am I moving myself from the frying pan into the fire, as they say? What am I doing? You know, and I started to have, I was upset about it, and more so just that people were so ugly. And I don't know, I was delusioned. I'm under this delusion, I'm sure it is, that I'm going to move to another country and not be faced with all of this, and that's not true. And I realize it's not true intellectually, but I think emotionally I'm still tied to the fact that I'm going to go someplace where people are kinder to each other. I sure hope that's the case, but if it isn't, Montenegro is just, right across the border, and they do speak some Albanian, so my language won't be all lost, and it is a beautiful country, but I was just really surprised. It's important that we know what we're getting into. And since marijuana is legal in most states here, and I just feel that I need to be prepared for if she gets offered or what happens, or I don't know what she does currently. Like I said, she's probably much smarter than I was at her age, but I need to know. I need to know to keep her safe. And both of us out of trouble. And me too. What if I'm at a party and somebody offers it to me? What about, I need to know. So I don't think that one woman compared it to murder. She's like, that'd be like me asking if it's okay to kill people when I come to the United States. It's just like, wow. No, it is. No, it isn't like that at all, actually. So at any rate, I was trying to explain that people don't always abide by the law. I mean, look at us driving on the highway. I mean, I rarely drive the speed limit. Rarely. And I just get that in-between space where I'm not going too fast, so I'll get a ticket, but not too slow, then it's going to take me forever. We all do that. Everybody, and it's illegal. It's illegal to walk across the street, too, and jaywalk. I do it all the time. So when they were coming back that since it's illegal, nobody does it, I said, well, you're clearly not living in the world I live in because, you know. So anyway, there was that, and that really gave me pause, and I think it put me back a few days by just like, what the hell? And I missed my language lesson last week, and I was really, really sad about that because all the gym work that I'm doing and all this stuff that I'm trying to get in and cram in these next weeks. And I'm doing all these things physically to myself too that I never thought I'd do. I'm getting another tattoo. I'm getting my Reiki symbols put on my arms. I've been taking more classes in reflexology just so I really do think that's what I'm going to be doing when I get there. That's going to make me the most money and the easiest thing to do. So I want to just be sure I have as much knowledge as I possibly can. And so now it's just pretty much figuring out what am I taking. And I've been struggling with suitcases. This is really funny because I have a set, but they're pink, and I like pink, and they're very cool, but I thought, no, I don't want to look like Barbie going over there. So I don't know. I might get rid of them and get something a little benign or something, another color. And then a friend suggested, well, why don't I take a trunk and ship a trunk over? Well, I find out that it's kind of hit or miss shipping things right now into Albania. I could ship them to my friends in Germany and then go get them, but I haven't worked that out yet. So I think what I'm going to do is ship a box DHL to Albania that doesn't have valuables in it, and see if it makes it, and what the process is and that sort of thing. But I'm truly down to selling off the rest of this. I just have some art left. I have some pottery and few other odds and ends that most of my personal items are gone. A lot of my jewelry, there's a little bit left, but it's going, and it's going quickly, and I'm grateful because when I decide to leave here, I'm just going to give the rest of it away to somebody Goodwill or something, and then just be done. I've decided to sell my car on this side of the country. I'm getting really good prices. Elements hold their value very, very well, which is why I got a second one. And I was offered $1,000 less than I paid for it. So not bad, not bad. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and sell it here and then rent a car to do my touring across the country in. And that just seems to make more sense and not put the wear and tear on my own vehicle. So there's that. So I've decided that. So there's all these little nuances. There's all these little things that I need to decide to make sure I've got everything together. Some people are saying do buy medical insurance. Some people are just like, it's not that big of a deal. It depends on where you are. So there's still things I'm not sure of. Do I keep my driving insurance? Do I, my car insurance? Do I give it up? These are things I still have to decide and learn more about. My tutor is marvelous, and I know she can help me with a lot of these questions, being a native, and she's a linguist, so she really understands the language, and that's something that's very helpful to me, but she understands the culture too. And like I told you before, it's a conservative culture, so I've really been looking at the clothes that I'm taking, and I just don't, I love bright colors, I love all this kind of stuff, and I just don't want to be really flashy. I don't want to stand out as much as I do now. And I would really want to kind of, just kind of pull it in a little bit and feel it out. So there's that. Um, yeah, 10 weeks. I think part of what I'm going through is now I'm starting to feel it, and now I'm starting to get a little like, okay, this is really happening. I'm not scared. I don't have any kind of anxiety around that. It's just like, can I get all this done in time? I think that if I would leave tomorrow, if I had all of this taken care of, or at least I would attempt to go. But for now, here's where we are. And for now, it'll be the first week in October that I leave Arizona if everything goes according to plan, which, as you all know, changes. But I am still incredibly excited. And the more pictures I see of the different cities that I'll be visiting, it's breathtaking. And I love beauty. I love physical beauty. Oh, which leads me to my macular degeneration in my right eye has stopped, and it is actually a little bit better. The shots are working. We don't know for how long, but I'll take whatever I can get. I love being able to see. What my sister sent me over, I told you, I think the Germans are working on something, and they are. And I just read an article recently about their breakthroughs, and so I'm very optimistic about being able to get some sort of treatment for my eyes, because this one has macular degeneration. It just is dry. It doesn't move as fast, and I never heard of it before. Apparently it's a heredity thing, but nobody that I know has it, nobody in my family, so I'm not sure where the hell it comes from, and I don't know what to do about it, but I've been taking every vitamin I can think of for eyes and eating lots of carrots, and hopefully that will be better. It's been a little challenging because I do a lot of close-up work with my selling of antiques and vintage, and I want to make sure they're authentic, so I use a loop, which is this thing, and I'm so used to putting it on this eye. I have to put it on this eye and learn how to close that eye. It's just so crazy. But, I'm managing, and I just really pray and hope that my eyes will stay so I can use them for a while yet, because there's so much beauty in the world that I'd like to see. With the work that I'm doing currently, I might not be able to continue to do it if my eyesight gets bad. But fortunately, with the work that I'm doing with the healing, I don't need my eyes for that. I have my hands, and my hands are my eyes. In that particular case, they can tell me what's going on in people's body, because I work with feet, hands, and head, and I can tell through my fingers. So I'm happy that I have that I can use as well, that I can, in case something happens. So I'm trying to stay prepared and trying to stay positive, and yeah, it's all working well. I'm getting my butt kicked at 6:20 twice a week in the morning, but I said I wanted to go early because it's always better to exercise in a fasting state, and it starts my day well, and my body is responding beautifully to it. It really remembers what, I used to be very strong and very active, so it's coming back, and I'm really confident in how good it's going to be, even in the next 10 weeks. I'll continue, of course, when I'm in Albania to, get a trainer and gym or whatever, but I am really, really happy with the progress that my body is showing, and I'm feeling stronger and capable and all that. And I think that's important, because I was talking to a friend of mine, and she's like, oh, I would never do that. I would never do this or that. Not necessarily Trump, just like going for a longer walk where she didn't know the beginning, the middle, and the end. And it's because she's physically unfit. And when we get older, we have to really think about that, because that's what limits us, is that if we don't feel we can take care of ourselves in our own body. And I do. I feel strong. I feel confident. I feel I can do and whatever it is that I need to do. So that's been going very, very well. And the whole Mediterranean eating thing, I love olive oil and feta cheese and all that stuff. So that is not going to be a problem at all. Yeah, so And I've been meeting more friends. I've like friends. I've been meeting people that I have been in touch with who are answering questions. Unlike that group, which I don't know, it's horrible. So anyway, I'm just kind of put that to the side and hoping that that was just the exception and not the rule, and that most people there are lovely and are supportive, like some of the folks that did actually come to my defense and stand up for me, which was lovely too. So that's what's going on here, you guys. This is July, I don't know, 25th, 26th, somewhere in there, near the end of July. And yeah, I guess it's even less than 10 weeks, but oh my goodness, I'm really excited, and I will sort out the whole duffel bag versus suitcase versus what color am I, kind of thing. Soon, I definitely want to take a backpack because I'll use it not just for the travel there and whatever, but I want to hike and do all that fun stuff. Yeah, so the only thing that's left is my heart. I think I told you that. I have some tests next month, but I know that that's going to be fine. And other than that, I've got a clean bill of health. I feel great, and I know I'm ready for this next adventure. And I'm so excited to see a lot of you as I travel through the country to bid you adieu, and hopefully you'll come and visit me, which is the plan. I'm always going to have an extra room wherever I go for anybody who wants to show up and just come and see a different part of the world. I'm here for it. So thank you all so much. I love that you are watching these videos. I love that you're cheering me on, and I am so grateful and appreciative to all of you who, you're my cheerleaders, you're my support. So thank you for that, and I hope you keep it up, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.